Anyway, my screen's still spinning around, so there is that. So let's get started. Welcome, students. Glad to see you all here. For those of you who can actually take part, I realize that not everyone's going to sit through the exam review, and that's okay. Um, I don't expect you all to sit through it all the time. I'm just glad if you need this help, I'm here for you. So you can always post your questions in the live feed next. You see the Q&A and stuff on the side where you can type stuff in. You go ahead and type in a question there, and I'll be glad to help you out. So far, the questions I've had has been more about how the exam is set up. It is going to be 50 multiple choice questions. You will have the entire class to do it, so it's an 80-minute class, so you can do that. It's set to be more of a 50-minute class exam, so you'll have plenty of time, so don't freak out. If you wake up a little late and run there, you should still have time to get there, okay? So I hope you will be up and at 'em in the morning on Thursday morning for the exam. I know a lot of you will be watching this on Wednesday night or Thursday morning before you get started. So do me a favor, when you do figure out what time you are watching this, let me know so I have an idea when people actually are watching this. It's like, I'm watching it at 2 a.m. on Thursday morning. Give me that, would you? I'd appreciate it. Anyway, other things about the exam. When you do come in, make sure you do sit every other. You can sit upstairs in the balcony, no problem. So there's that. Just make sure you have your lead pencils and all that fun stuff like usual. All right. So we've got a few people online. Good to see you all here today that are watching us live. We're about to get started. I have my copy of the exam here for those of you that are using the book. That we're doing the BADM 320 Exam 1 Spring 2015 version. For those of you that are watching live, if you have a question while I go through, or you want me to repeat something, just write a comment that'll pop up in the chat on the side, and I'll go through there. Also, I will be writing the answers to the exam in the live feed that's going over here, depending on how you're watching, so you can get that. All right, so let's get started with the exam review. That I think most of you are actually there today, so we're gonna get started. All right, so first things first. First question on the exam is, what are the 4 P's of marketing? Well, it's product, price, place, promotion. Okay, that you need to have that one down, because I guarantee that will not just be on this exam, it'll probably be on the other 2 exams as well. So at least have that. You've got 3 out of the 150 questions you have for the exams, right? So you'll have that, okay? And when you start thinking about the 4 P's, product creates value, right? Because we have to figure out is the product really gives someone that I didn't want anything, I didn't know what I wanted, but by having this product, this service, we've really created value in someone's mind that this is something I'd really like to have. And so that's why it's create value. Price captures the value because it captures in terms of we know what it's worth to people. Okay, it's capture the value to people, and that's where a price gives us that. And then place is about delivering the value. All the things we need to do to deliver our value to our clients. And a lot of times when people think of the place, they think more logistics and supply chain. But there's more to it. It's all about the things that need to be done to deliver that value, whether it's the website to help people be able to get the value, or the retail space or stuff like that. There's just a lot of different things you can do. And then promotion is about communicating the value. And that's just looking at, making sure people know about it and stuff like that. Okay. Now, I promise I won't go this much in depth in every single question. We don't forget, if you go to the ProfessorWolters.com site, and you just see there's a blog right there that goes through the main videos to study. We also have the playlist we put out, so you can go to the playlist and do that. I'll try to put the playlist down in the, if you're watching this later, I'll put it down in the information below so you can watch those videos. And remember, you can always put these things on super fast play, so you can have that. Rick, hey Rick. So this is my students for my day job. I teach a marketing class and they have an exam this week, so I'm going over with a practice exam with them. So we're gonna go through that. So hope that helps. If it sounds a little bit boring to you, I'm sorry. I will answer non-exam questions at the end. I just want to make sure that my students that want to get the exam stuff can get that, and they can get focused and studying and things like that. All right. So number 2 on the exam. When a firm develops marketing strategies in order to sell more of their current products, there's a key, current products to their current customers, this is an example of which quadrant of the Ansoff growth strategies matrix. That is A, market penetration. Because whenever you're selling, de nada, Rick, de nada. So whenever you're trying to sell more to your, my wife's laughing because we had an issue with that one time when we made a video about market penetration. Anyway.
Because I'm 12.
Yes, because she's 12. Um, anyway, so market penetration is just when you're trying to sell more product that you already make to your current customers. So, maybe opening longer hours, giving them more opportunities to shop for you, things like that. Okay, just trying to get more Big Mac eaters to eat more Big Macs. All right. Number 3, Starbucks coffee shops can be found in shopping malls, bookstores, and high traffic intersections, or pretty much anywhere. With this strategy, what kind of sustainable competitive advantage is Starbucks going for? So overall, what they're doing is they are going for a location excellence strategy where it's all about, look, I can do better than my competition if I'm in the right place. That's why Starbucks is going to be everywhere, because we got to be the most easiest coffee place that you can get anywhere near you. I don't want to cross the street. Oh, don't worry, we have a Starbucks here. I don't want to leave my building. Don't worry, we have a Starbucks in the building. So that's what they're trying to do, is use the location to help them stay ahead of the curve. Okay. Number 4, the U of I is famous for its long history of researchers, top-notch students, and great teaching professors. This has a lot to do with the human resources and recruitment offices at the University of Illinois. This is an example of what kind of sustainable competitive advantage. That 4 is C, the operational or operations excellence. That goes into being better than your competition because you have better kind of like management teams, human resources. You just run your ship better, so you tend to do a better job. You see that a lot with teams, like maybe the coach gets more out of certain players than other coaches do, so that would be an operations excellence kind of thing. Number 5, if McDonald's restaurants decided to grow their business by selling McDonald's branded clothes in Bolivia. I had to make this one up, okay? So right now, Bolivia is a country that currently does not have a McDonald's restaurant. It did at one time, but doesn't now. And they don't actually sell clothes. So this would be a new product, new clothes. They're selling that in a new market, Bolivia. So that's new and new. And so with that Ansoff matrix or growth matrix, what you're looking at here is the diversification model. You're just trying to come up with new stuff to sell to new people. It's kind of like when Microsoft came out with their Xbox. We have a new product we never had before, console gaming, and we're selling it to console gamers. So it's new products in a new industry. So you have that. Okay. Number 6, if the city of Champaign only allows one company to be the exclusive water delivery company in Champaign, the threat of new entrants would be what? The threat of new entrants, that's number 6, would be low because they're only going to sign one. So once you sign it, you're not worried about anybody else coming in because we're only having one. So you have that. All right. Number 7, in an industry where there is lots of room to grow your business, there could be many different variations of products, and there are numerous potential new clients. The intensity of rivalry, not rivalry. It's been a long day. Would be what? And for 7, that would be C, low. Why would it be low? Well, think about it. If there's a lot of different variations in the product, so I'm making Fords and you're making Ferraris, well, we're not really competing over some stuff. We're not going to have a lot of, I know there's a movie about Ford versus Ferrari, but in realistic terms, we're not really competing over the same stuff. We're not going to have much of a rivalry there in terms of selling cars to people. Okay. Also, if you look at it in terms of lots of potential new customers, hey, look, I don't have to fight you over the customers to buy my cars. I'll go to these customers and you go to that customers. We're not going to have any rivalry because we got plenty of room. Okay. So you think about that. All right. Now, number 8, using the GE McKinsey matrix, the U of I is strong in engineering, and the growth forecast for the need of engineers in the future is very high. So we're strong at it. So our small business unit of engineering is really good, and industry growth future is very high. So it's a very attractive market. So that's a high kind of thing. So what we're going to do there is we're going to invest. We're going to tell the board of trustees to invest more money in the engineering program. Okay. Number 9, Target sells the same products and merchandise as low-cost leaders Walmart and Aldi. Now, however, Target has slightly higher prices, better product displays, more sales associates to help you, nice uniforms, and higher quality line of private label products. Target would be using what competitive business strategy? So what they're doing is they're trying to make things different. They're trying to make things better so people are willing to spend more money for milk from the same cow. okay? Because, you're buying milk from the same cow at Target or Walmart a lot of times. So, I mean, it's not that big of a difference. And, it's the same toys, but you're paying more for them. But you're doing that because they're doing stuff that's different, differentiation. They're making it special. Because it's, the story is you go to Target to buy a pack of gum, you spend $150, right? Whereas, but Walmart, you go and get what you want and you leave. Because, look, I'm just going there to save money and I'm out. Because they're going to save you money. They're doing what's cost leadership. Walmart is doing cost leadership. Whereas Target is doing the differentiation strategy. So 9 is C. Okay. Number 10. Which of the following would be a key success factor for the soda pop industry? So if you like soda or you like pop or soda pop, hey, I'm just trying to help you all out. Actually, it would be D, all of the above, because you need local production in soda. Same thing with beer in general, because it's such a heavy product that the farther you ship, the more the cost becomes a really higher percentage of the actual end price. And so that's why you'll have your local distributors of Pepsi and Coke and things like that. Okay. Also, branding and marketing is very big in the soda pop industry. That's why you see Coke signs everywhere and Pepsi signs everywhere. And also wide assortment of beverages, because you need to have the different types of soda for all the different types of soda that people want. Okay. So number 11, don't worry about that one. We don't have an extra credit question this time. Sorry. Number 12, short battery life, no network coverage, and bad design. These are examples of what part of the industry key success factor analysis if we're looking at mobile phones. Okay. Well, that would be death bells for mobile phones, because no matter how cool it is, if I don't have any network coverage, I can't use it. I'm not going to buy it. So you have to think about those things. It's kind of like before all these, like T-Mobile and AT&T and Verizon were all over the country. You're like, oh, you don't go to my town. Well, there's no point in me buying your stuff. So it's a death bell. Okay. So number 13, if Nike puts a picture of Cookie Monster, a children's TV show character, on the side of a shoe and charges a price premium on that shoe, that means they charges more. Nike is using what kind of competitive strategy? That is a differentiation strategy. Just like Target, they're making it more special. So instead of spending $5 for the shoe, you're spending $20 for the shoe just to get that Cookie Monster on there. Okay. Number 14. Which part of the marketing mix is known to create value in the eyes of consumers? That is a product. Remember, product creates value. Okay. Rick, I can talk about that later. I think in terms of current shortage of manual trade workers in the U.S., I think that is a fantastic way. And instead of pushing a lot of people that think everyone has to go to college, the trades, you can make a lot more money being an electrician, HVAC, and stuff like that than a lot of fields you can go to school, like college for. And I think I think a lot of people are missing out because we have you're right, there is a big shortage of that. So I think a lot of people probably will start moving to that area because those salaries, you can't beat them now. I mean, it's amazing what some of these electricians and HVAC are making. It takes time to get to your, go through your apprenticeship and stuff, but it's really worth it. So I'm all for it. I say, hey, let's get some more people in trades to help out because we need them. So there you go. Number 15. Which part of the marketing mix is known for capturing value? That is price, B. So we have that. Number 16, and I went through that beginning, so I don't need to rehash that one. Number 16. When McDonald's restaurants began to open longer store hours and have their drive-thru operation work 24 hours a day, they're using what strategy to allow their customers to buy more hamburgers and chicken nuggets? So here's the thing. I'm saying it's longer hours for those customers to buy more hamburgers and more chicken nuggets, meaning they've already been clients before. All right. So that is also market penetration, A. Now, number 17, the fact that McDonald's and Burger Kings would not sell beef burgers in India, where the cow is a sacred animal, would fit into which macro-environmental factor? That is culture, A. Number 18, what is a core aspect of marketing? Of all those ones on there, the really one that's the key thing is satisfying customers' wants and needs. That's what we're trying to do in marketing. It's the big thing out there is figuring out what is our clients want us to make for them. What do they need us to make for them? And we produce products and services like that really pay off for them. And if we create that, we have a better chance that they buy from us. Okay. Number 19. A student was proposed in my class. Yes, 5 years ago, there was a student that was proposed in a class. And last time I checked, they were still married. So, hey, there is true love in marketing. So there is that. Number 20. A sustainable competitive advantage remains constant over the long term Over the long term, no. You got to keep working on those things because eventually those sustainable competitive advantages, eventually your competition can meet up with you. But in the short, medium term, usually not. Okay, but long term, no. All right. Number 21. How can a firm create loyal customers? Well, focus on lifetime customers. Yes. If I feel like I'm being treated like you care about me being a customer today and tomorrow in the future, that's going to make us feel, better about working together. Also, have a product that seems like it's designed for your customer. Heck yeah, if I feel like you're making something for me. So I love my Culvers, man. They're making a good old cheeseburger, and they got the cheese curds, and I can take my kids there, and I got all the good stuff. Yeah, it was made for a person like me. Identify with that. That's going to make loyal customers. Then sometimes you just develop a loyalty program. Like, hey, look, you fly with us enough, we'll give you free flights. We'll give you free upgrades. And so you're actually paying them to do it. So you develop a program. So 21 is actually D. It's all of the above. Okay. When doing a SWOT analysis, the strengths and weaknesses deal with what? That is the internal workings of the firm, A. Because the strengths and weaknesses is what I do well, what I do poorly, or what we do well, we do poorly. Opportunities and threats are things that are outside. Like I have to look at the opportunities that are outside my business. What could I take advantage of out there? Or what are possible threats that are coming that I have to prepare for? Okay, so opportunities and threats, external. Strengths and weaknesses, internal. Because you need the visual when I do this, I guess. Anyway. Oh, if you need to follow us or you need to ask questions or anything like that, you can always tweet us or write us on Instagram at Wolters World over here. We also have a Professor Wolters Facebook channel you can go to as well if you want to write there as well. Probably easier just to hold me on Twitter and Instagram to do that. Number 23. Hey, we're almost halfway there. 23. Web 2.0 is the functionalities of the internet that allows interactions between people. Yes, 23 is true. That's all Web 2.0 is. It's just, we can now communicate back and forth. Instead of one-way communication, it's back and forth. It's actual communication. So there is that. Yeah. Simply Life. I didn't go to college. I'm here just because I'm a fan and want to learn. Thanks, Simply Life. I appreciate you being here. I'm sure you and Rick are the only two that are watching this. My students will watch it, the night before my exam. Or the morning of the exam, 8 a.m. exam. I'm sure like on the bus ride from the dorms and from the apartments and stuff like that, there'll be a bunch of like little Professor Wolters going by on phones. So it'll be pretty funny. But I'm glad you're here, Simply Life. Thank you. All right, number 24. Which media, either social media or traditional media, has the shortest time to delivery? Well, that's going to be A, social media, because think about it. I mean, right now, this is live. Who knows what happens? I could take my glasses off. I can put them on. I can take them off. You don't know what's going to happen, right? It can be instantaneous. Whereas traditional media, well, if we're going to have a billboard with Mark with his glasses off, well, we got to make sure months before we can rent the sign for that time period. We've got to do the picture shoot. We've got to, make the pictures that go on the billboard. We got to put the billboard up. It takes a longer period of time. It's instantaneous with social media. So that's where you look at that. 25. Which media gives a sense of credibility and social authority? And that is B, traditional media. As many videos as people watch on YouTube and stuff like that, no one really thinks you're really important yet until you're on real TV. I always like to get a chuckle because remember I've got colleagues and friends. They're like, "Hey, you were on the local news. You finally made it." I'm like, "We were on national. We did all this other stuff." And they're like, "No, but you were on the local news. That's traditional media. Now that's the real authority there." Which is kind of funny, but it's true. Traditional media has more social authority, more credibility than the internet. Because have you read some of the stuff on the internet? There's weirdos out there, so be careful. Other stuff. Let's see. We're on 26. When a firm asks their online customers to click the like button or the subscribe button on a website and social media, they are doing what part of the 4E framework? That is engage. We're getting to engage. Please do this. For example, hey, if you like that I do these videos to help out my students for their exam, go click that like button right down there right now. No, seriously. Click the like button so I know if you actually like this or if you don't want me to do it again. Okay, so it's one of those things you're kind of asked, and when you get them to engage to do something, that's what you're trying to do. So it might get them engaged to buy something or order something or sign up for something or go to our Instagram, go to our Twitter, things like that. Okay. So Rick, yeah, if you look at some of our videos, we have one on customer service and customer loyalty, and we'll talk about how service can really draw people in. So we got some videos to help with that. And actually, Rick, if you want to learn more about customer service stuff, if you go to our professorwolters.com and click on Principles of Marketing, which is this class, there's a topic on consumer behavior and service marketing, and you can watch all kinds of videos that really talk more in depth on those kind of things. So just trying to help out and get people to watch more videos. Just saying. All right, number 27. Beachbody exercise videos help their clients share their exercise and weight loss experiences. Sometimes the answer is in the question. Via YouTube online videos and Facebook picture posts of before and after their weight loss. They do this so the potential new customers can see how the program may work for them. Beachbody's engaged in what part of the 4E framework here? That is C, experience. Because you're showing what the experience would be like if you did it. So like that's why back in the day when these Beachbody videos were huge, they would be like, oh, I'm a fat, overweight professor with no time, but I found a way to work out. I'm a single mom that does, and I found, and they gave all these examples of other people experiencing the product, so you could see, that's what it would be like if I did it. So you're kind of helping people live through you, and so that's what you're doing with the experience side of things on the 4E framework. Okay. 28. Wolters World travel videos go over everything you need to know and things you didn't know you needed to know about traveling. Wolters World talks about the top 10 sites, 5 things you love and hate about visiting various cities, also cultural differences, what you need to know about backpacking Europe, and safety tips for traveling. The previous statement would relate to which part of the 4E framework for social media? So 28 is A. It's educating, because I'm educating you about what is on the Wolters World site. Okay? Number 29. Which of the following social media platforms are best for brand exposure? That was Facebook, but don't worry about that. I'm not covering that on this exam. I'm actually probably going to eliminate that from the topic next semester. So don't worry about that. Just, it's C. We'll move on. Okay? 30. When developing a social media plan, what is something that needs to be in the social media plan? Well, all these things need to be in there. 1, you need to talk about what social media platforms you're going to use. We're going to be using Twitter, we're going to be using Facebook, and we'll be using Instagram. Okay, so you're going to list that. And then you're going to say how you're going to use each of those social media platforms. Oh, Twitter is to answer brief questions from our fans. And Instagram is to show pictures of the different destinations we're going to. And Facebook is where we're going to post our videos, right? So you kind of list what you're going to do each one of those. But also, then the third part of the C is we're also going to list which groups we're going to target by each social media platform. Because, for example, for me, with my college students, I'm not going to go through. I mean, I know we have that Facebook page, but I know dang well none of my students are going to go sign up for a Facebook page because they're not using Facebook. That's why I'm saying, hey, look, go over to Instagram. You can find us over there, and you can see us traveling around with my kids and my wife, so it makes more sense when you're like, who the hell is he talking about in class? You can see him there. Okay? So there's that. Number 31, turning the page. I will pay you $5 for every 1,000 times my advertisements load on your website. This is an example of what kind of social media performance measure. That's a CPM, or cost per thousand. And what that happens is you basically agree for a price for a certain number of impressions on a website. An impression is any time it pops up. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you're on a desktop or a laptop and you see all those videos, it'd be probably over there. You see all those videos lined up over there. Or if you're watching on mobile, all those videos below me, they say, hey, watch this next or whatever. Each one of those pictures, that's an impression. Okay, so that would be like an ad. Like if maybe you're watching this and there's a little ad right below me, like right here. So that would be an impression of an ad. Okay, so how many? If it's 1,000 times on there, I'll give you $5. Okay, so that's CPM. Now, number 32 asks, I will pay you $5 for every visitor who clicks on my ad on your website and visits my webpage. This is an example of which kind of social media performance measure. That is C, cost per click. And this one's better. So CPM, you just want people to like see the pictures. You just want people to know it's out there. But cost per click is like, look, I don't just want to put my picture out there. I want people coming to my website, right? And so that you only pay when someone actually clicks on the link, all right? So there's that one. And then the next one we have is 33. I will pay you $5 for every purchase that originates from the advertisement I place on your website. And that is what we call CPA, cost per action. This is where you're paying people for a certain thing to happen. This is really done to entice people to make sure they put the right ads in the right spot on a website. That's why you'll see a lot of Amazon ads. They're a lot of cost per action because they'll have the links up like, look, you don't get any money, but if someone buys the stuff, we'll give you 3%, right, of what they buy. Or we'll pay you $5 because they signed up for Audible or something like that. You do that as a way to get people to do certain things. Okay, so there's different ones: CPM, CPC, CPA. Okay, so make sure you know those. 34, hashtag for the class. Hashtag Wolters World. There's that one. Number 35. Which part of the marketing mix deals with the communication of value of product or service? That is promotion. We talked about that in the beginning. 36. Basically ask, did you put your name and all that stuff on your Scantron form? Please do that, because if you don't, it is a pain to find you. And we take a point off because then you lied on this question. This is the way I get around it. Like, oh, but you said you clicked on it, but you didn't. So your answer is wrong. So there's the way out. So make sure you put your name, net ID, UIN on there just so we can find you, because you'd be surprised. You may think your name, no one has the same name as me. Believe me, there's every semester, there's at least like 2 or 3 students, the exact same name, first name, last name. I mean, I had one, it was same first name, same last name, and then their student number was the same except for like one number in the middle. And I'm like, oh man, please don't mess this up. Because you don't want to get the person that got 40 out of 50. You want to get your 50 out of 50, right? So, just remember that. All right. 37, which is a way to measure online performance. All the ones that are listed on there. Number of fans on social media, number of page views, interaction rate. There's a lot of different ways you can do that. Hey, and also, I know we did an online version of the class for the social media digital marketing one. You need to make sure you watch those videos because no one watched them. It's okay. I understand. You're saving it for the exam. But do make sure at least to watch the ones that I have on the turbo playlist for the exam that I sent out, so you at least get some of the stuff, because these are things you will see, and it'll make more sense when you watch them and then you see like social media ads and stuff like that. You're like, oh, that's what they're doing. So I try to make them, the videos a little bit more in depth than in class because I just have more time. So there is that. Number 38. Jocelyn sells beauty supplies. Whenever she calls on her customers, she asks them if they have any problems or if they would like something new or different. Jocelyn's adding which of the core aspects of marketing? She's trying to satisfy customers' wants and needs because she's going out and talking to her customers to see, hey, what do you need? What do you want? Okay, I'm going to deliver that for you so you actually buy it. Okay. Next up, 39. Which of the following is least likely to provide a sustainable competitive advantage? All right. So the answer is D, which is lowering prices. The reason why that is the least effective is because it's not really sustainable, because someone else could lower their prices eventually to yours. So, and the thing is if you have a competitive advantage that's lower price, then people aren't buying for you because of you. They're buying because of the lower price. And once you have a competitor that does have the same prices, you got some trouble, okay? Because it's a lot harder to create efficient supply chains. Patented technology, they can't mimic that for 17 years. Achieving high levels of customer satisfaction is really hard to do, so the lower prices, that's the one to go for. Tim Wittick, are all of the concepts on the exam covered by the videos in the Turbo playlist? If I have a video on it, yes. It's a special playlist, buddy. Remember today in class? A lot of winks, a lot of hey. Remember, you can adjust the time so you can listen to it at double speed. So instead of me just being fast, I can be like super fast. So there is that. All right. Number 40. When Apple developed the first iPhone in 2007, they were adding a phone and camera to their iPod product. They were hoping to sell this new iPhone to their clients that already had iPods. This would be an example of which kind of growth strategy. Okay, so here's the thing. They already had those iPod clients, right? And so they want to make those iPod clients buy a new product. So it's old clients with a new product. So that's product development. Okay, so that's B. All right. And Tim, did I answer your question okay? Let me know in the comments, okay? Or let me know in the chat. 41. The development of the internet destroyed the encyclopedia and newspaper industries. However, It increased access to news and knowledge, I guess. This is an example of what kind of macro environmental factor. That's technology. Technological factors, those changes. I mean, think about it. I mean, this is crazy. I am sitting here in my house giving with my Japanese plastic food and my dragon from China that I got for when I taught there, and an old tea set. Well, anyway, I can just sit here at work and in my house and live feed with my students to help them review an exam. Whereas back in the day, you have to have the review session and stuff like that. And if your review session or overlap with something else, you couldn't be at the review session. But now students can watch it here live, or they can watch it on the replay, or they can watch the playlist. So technology has really changed. But the topics I'm talking about are still similar. And so we see that it can affect more or less, right? So it's kind of cool. 42. Kimberly-Clark recently introduced toilet paper rolls without a cardboard core. What social trend does this product respond to? That is A, green marketing. Okay. Shout out to my students who work at Kimberly-Clark. I know you're not going to watch this because you already took this class 10 years ago, so you don't care. But whatever. I just know I still remember you. 43. When the customer has a wealth of information about the product offerings, a large number of competing firms that they can buy from, and the customer represents a large percentage of the overall market, the buyer power would be termed what? That is high. Because remember, information is power. And so if our customers have a lot of information about the prices of our competitors and other stuff, that's going to give them power. Okay? So they'll have high power on that one. 44. The Russian economy has completely tanked. The price of oil has dropped a lot. The Russian ruble has lost half of its value in the past few months. The economic future seems rather unstable. So that market right now, not looking too good, right? So Shell Oil, one of the largest and most successful oil companies in the world, has a small presence in Russia, and they're debating if they should invest in Russia or divest. What should they do? Using the GE McKinsey matrix, what would you recommend they do? Well, here you look at it, see their business unit, it's small, right? They're a big company, but it's a small part. So it's either a weak business unit or not a very attractive business unit, so like low or medium, right? But we look at the Russian market at the time that this is the explanation we have, like, wow, this is not a good time. So probably what you're going to do is divest. Okay, so 44 is going to be C. Okay. 45. How many key success factors usually found in industry? 5 or 6. But companies usually only focus on 1 or 2 of them just because it's too expensive to really focus on all of them. And now 46 through 50 all deal with the BCG matrix. So I'm going to go through each of these individually. First up, we have the Spidey web shooter. Has been a money maker for them for decades. Though not the coolest toy or hottest toy in town anymore, it still gives Peter Parker Industries a steady cash flow. So, not as popular as it used to be, old standby, so growth is probably low, but it's making them a lot of money, so it would be a cash cow, B. Okay. 47, we're looking at the Morbius vampire doll. This doll was created at the height of the now dead vampire movie craze in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Though it was once their top seller, the Morbius vampire doll now sits in inventory and on store shelves where no one buys them. So that would be a dog. Okay, and that's what's cool when you look at this BCG matrix. You'll see how products will cycle through sometimes and move around. Because think about it, PlayStation 1 was like a huge star, and then a cash cow. Now they don't make it anymore. Well, yeah, because it cycled through, other products come through. So that's why it's kind of interesting when you see it. It's really good to like do that example with technological products. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, like yeah, iPhones are great. No, the iPhone 11 Pro is great. The iPhone 10 is fine. The iPhone 8? Oh, 7? Oh my gosh, can you even be seen with one of those? You see how the mentality changes over time? So you look at those things. Okay. 48, we have Monopoly Mary Jane. A cult classic game, Monopoly Mary Jane, is a fan favorite board game that is still a popular gift for young children. Though the board game industry has slowed down, the desire for this classic game never fades. So, industry has slowed down, so low growth, but it's still popular. We've got a cash cow again. So 48 is B. 49. Spidey's Awesome Racer game would be considered in what part of the BCG matrix? So Spidey's Racer game. Next we have Spidey's Awesome Racer game, a recent big hit and current market leader in the fast-growing tablet gaming industry. Can you tell I wrote this exam 5 or 6 years ago? Tablets. Do we even use those anymore? This game has tripled its profits each of the last 3 quarters and looks to keep on growing as the tablet industry increases to grow. So what would this be? Well, that's the definition of a star right there. Okay, because it's got a high growth rate. It's a big time player. It's making a lot more money. Hey, we're going to shovel more money in there to keep it going. Okay. Number 50. Last question on the exam. The Venom Watch. All right. So, the latest product to come out of Peter Parker Industries. So, it's the latest one. It's the newest one. Probably a small time player. Venom Watch. To grab a hold of the fast growing wearable devices and wearable health digital trainers market, so like a Fitbit, they developed the Venom Watch. Though it is brand new and is only a small time player, see, there you go, there is hope that it may catch on in the fast growing wearable industry. So, fast growing market, small time player, that is your definition of a question mark. So, there's 50 questions for the exam. If you have other questions for the exam, I'll be on here for a little bit to answer some questions to help out. So there is that. So Rick, okay, so I can answer a travel thing if it's on here. I'm old, I'm voluntary, unemployed, but you and your family are so entertaining. I've watched most of your South America videos as I've been there. Buena suerte, amigo. Gracias, Rick. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad the South America videos. I'm glad we can make those because I know not a lot of travelers do the South America, Central America kind of stuff. We actually just got back from El Salvador Sunday night. It was quite interesting because we did fine with the food and everything, but there was one time where like I'm not sure if they got us the purified water, and we just took like a drink, and so we all got, well, 3 of the 4 of us got kind of ill the last night we were there, and it was weird because you're up with aspiitis, and it was about 2:30 in the morning. And I'm sitting there again, and all of a sudden the toilet starts moving. I'm like, that's not me. So there was an earthquake while we were there, while we were like having this, and we were near the coast. And I'm like, this isn't good because we're near the coast. And if there's a tsunami with the earthquake, so it was a little scary there for a sec. But we took off, and then there was a little thing where the president and some of the military came into the parliament on Sunday when we were heading out of town. So very interesting time, but a very great. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I really love Central and South America. People can go. I highly recommend visiting. It's fantastic kind of stuff. Okay, so Tony, Simply Life, thank you very much for the nice thing. Two Fit Travelers. Oh, actually, I'm going to be doing. If you look at the Two Fit Travelers over there, when I finish this, I'm actually recording a podcast with them on travel. Probably not me staying fit, but theoretically, I could talk about how not to stay fit while traveling. So I'm an expert in that one. So I'm going to record that here in a few minutes. But anyway, there's a question here from Tony Rain. It was not too much of an interruption. No, it's not. We've gone through the exam. This is what I'm here for. That's why my Professor Wolters channel, I like talking about this business kind of stuff because I don't necessarily get to talk about this in the Wolters World things, but it's nice that we can kind of like put these two together. May I ask what business strategy is being used when there's a natural disaster, for example, tsunami, and all the hotels raise their rates sky high? Well, that's the old supply and demand. There's limited supply with the tsunami. A lot of people lose their house and stuff like that. So a lot of people start, going. It's like anything. Once the demand goes up, the price goes up. And so there's the economic side of it, but also there could be what's called price gouging, where you see this opportunity. I can charge a lot more for this. It's kind of like if you're in the U.S., have you ever noticed like before Memorial Day weekend, like the Thursday before, all the gas prices go up? Isn't that odd? One of the big driving days. 4th of July weekend, does it go up? I don't know. It's one of those things you kind of think about and go, And that's the thing that's why some people, like, if you look at hotels in the U.S. and some other countries, if you look on the back of the door, they'll actually have the maximum price we can charge for this room. And it'll say like $900. The thing is, when you stay there, like, wait, I'm only paying like $150. When is it $900? Oh, it's so they can jack up the prices until that $900 when it does surge price. Okay, it's kind of like if you think about it in terms like Uber, like when it's really busy, boom, the price gets surged up. Okay, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's like ethical, but I'm saying that's what they end up doing. So, Tony, I hope that helps explain it a little bit. Okay, Simply Life. What is the main problem when it comes to trying to market on social media when it seems to constantly update and new forms of social media comes out? So this is one of the things. Whenever you develop a social media plan, what you do is you're going to talk about the platforms you're going to use and why. So you might explain, we want to have a visual social media content platform. So for example, right now it's all about Instagram. But remember when it was all about Tumblr? And then before that, no, I put all my pictures on, my Homestead account. what you're doing is you're giving yourself kind of the reason behind you're using a certain social media platform. So when the social media platform you're using isn't as popular anymore, you move to the next one, so you kind of follow along with it. So if you're a company that's focusing on a younger demographic, well, think about it. 15 years ago, or 10 years ago, you were using Facebook, right, to keep up with the young hip people. But now, I mean, my students have Facebook so they can look like they're good students with their grandma. Oh, look at my baby, my granddaughter, my grandson. They're studying so hard at school. Look, they're at the library. Checked into the library. Grandma doesn't know it's a bar, kind of stuff. So it's kind of funny. But that's why you really want to focus on the type of social media you want to be in. So for example, like right now, YouTube's the video platform, so we have that. But if Facebook and their Facebook Watch becomes big, we'll put videos on there as well, because we want to make sure we're where people are watching. Okay, so that's what you're kind of do. So I hope that helps Simply Life. Sean Weed, best part of San Juan. I have not been to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Babe, what did you like? There's the
cool.
fort. It was cool.
The fort was awesome.
She said my wife's right. She said the fort was awesome in San Juan. She had a good time when you're there. Grant, Tony, I'm glad I could help you out. So I know they're right on here. Hey, Two Fit Travelers. Jocelyn's like giving me crap because we haven't started a podcast yet, but I've told them you're on here, so we have that. So, any last minute questions? So we can go record with Two Fit Travelers. I'll give it 20, 19. Simply Life, I'm glad it helped out. 10, 14, 6, 8. All right. Well, to my students who are watching this right before the exam, give me a wave when you come in, because then I'll know that you watched this just right before you got here till the end, which I'm going to sure most of you got 250 and said bye-bye. It's okay. I still love you. I still wish you all the best and good luck on the exam on Thursday. If you have any questions, you can email me or just tweet at me or send me a direct message from Instagram to do that, so we can do it that way. Otherwise, we wish you all the best. Oh, by the way, Two Fit Travelers say... we're waiting patiently, Jocelyn. So there you go. Anyway, thank you everybody for taking part. If you're watching it on the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Wish you all the best and have yourself a great night and good luck studying. Bye.